Dear viewers, welcome to once again to Prominence live session. Today's live session with one of the amazing university, which is a public university from United Kingdom, and the name of this university is University of Huddersfield. Uh, you can see already in the background the logo of this university, and first of all, I'd like to welcome one of our special guests in this live session, who is Miss Margarita from she's working as an international officer of this university. So I would like to welcome Miss Margarita to this live session. Hi Margarita, how are you?
Hi, Saeed. Hello, everybody. I'm very
I'm
well. Thank you.
okay. I'm doing well as well. So would you please say hi and introduce yourself to our viewers?
Of course, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I am Margareta Macmillan. I work at the University of Huddersfield in England, in the UK, and I'm responsible basically for helping students come to the UK and study, specifically from South Asia, so Bangladesh. I'm very happy to say that I have come to Bangladesh before a couple of times, as it's a priority market for me. So I'll be able to help you today and answer any questions. And thank you very much, Said, for inviting me. Very good to see you again.
You are most welcome, and I would like to request all viewers, please try to listen this. Please try to watch this live video because it will give you the total details, complete details of this university, including the university, location, including the courses, admission requirement. We'll discuss one by one everything, and how will be the policy for application and admission for during this COVID-19 situation. And please try to do one thing. Please try to share this live session in your timeline, so those who are interested for UK, so definitely this video will be helpful for them. So before discussing all these things, can we have a video of this university, Margarita? Shall we have?
Yeah, absolutely. Please go ahead.
Okay, so we'll have an amazing video of this university. Just give me a few seconds to run this.
Yeah.
So here the video is, just a second. Yes. Yes, it's really an amazing video. Margarita, I have my first inquiry to you. My first question, that you know that there are a lot of students, they are choosing different countries for their higher studies. Like they have a choice of, the United States, they have a choice of Australia, Canada,
Mhm.
some other European countries like Sweden, France, Denmark. But UK is one of the most popular and one of the oldest destination for higher studies. That so far, when we were, when we were a child, also that time we actually came to know that okay, people are going to London or UK to become the barrister, especially barrister. So
Yeah.
actually, how do you differentiate UK with other countries? That why you can be the better destination for students?
Yeah, of course. I think historically, the UK has been probably the destination to go for study. So I think even if you look 100 years back, hundreds of years back, I think the UK has been one of the first countries to introduce higher education and to have universities available for international students. And I think the relationship between Bangladesh and the UK is also very good. There's quite a lot of expats here as well. There's quite a big community here from Bangladeshi, either working or living here, and students as well. So I think historically the UK has had really good relationships with Bangladesh, and maybe that's the reason why. But I mean, all of the countries, you've mentioned before, you've mentioned America, you've mentioned Australia, Canada, these are also the largest places, where students go. I think the UK has got quite a lot of universities, and it's a small place. Like if you look at the map of the UK, it's actually a lot smaller than America, than Australia. However, there's quite a lot of universities. There's about 120 different universities. And they're not just based in the big cities, they're also based in smaller places like towns and different places all around, like Scotland and Wales. And I think maybe that's what the unique thing is about the UK, perhaps, that there's so many options available in a small country like the UK. And the fact that it's in Europe, it's very close, obviously, to other countries in Europe. It's very easily accessible for students to come. There's direct flights, or I think it's about 8 or 9 hours if you want to come from Bangladesh. It's not that far. So I think historically also students wanted to come to the UK because of that. Now this year we have heard from the government that from next year, so from students who are graduating next year, they will be able to do to have post-study work visa and stay in the UK for 2 more years. Now, I think this is the reason why a lot of students now want to come back to the UK. Now, this visa, for those who don't know, used to be open, I think in 2012, I think it was still open back then. And it has stopped for some time. And now they're looking to reintroduce it. Now, I don't know why they're looking to reintroducing it. It could be Brexit, it could be any reason, but it's definitely positive for the students from Bangladesh. So those students who are coming this year, either for masters or bachelors, anybody who's graduating from next year onwards will be able to do this.
Okay, that's a great opportunity, because actually we people were waiting for these options, that when UK will open PSW. So finally they have opened from next year. So we'll be graduating in next year. So they will they'll be enjoying the PSW option. So it's a very fantastic thing. And sometimes so far I heard that the immigration is saying that they can apply also for the point-based immigration, which is also a very good opportunity for international students. So thank you so much for your concern about study in UK. But you know that there are a lot of universities. There are a lot of universities in UK, and there are so many good universities. They are well ranked, top ranked in the world, not only in UK, in the world. And there are some status as well, like gold status, platinum, silver status in terms of teaching excellence framework. So, I mean, if I would like to get information from University of Huddersfield in some short format, so you please explain about this university, about the location, about the campuses. As you know that people are interested to go to London, but unfortunately it is not in London. But how good it is apart from London?
Absolutely. We do have a London campus as well this year, which is starting from this year.
Okay.
So if anybody is interested, we can let you know a little bit more. It's part of a study group as well. So it's part of our partners with study group, where students can actually study in London. But Huddersfield is actually based in the middle. So it's right in the center of the UK. So if you look at the map, right in the middle, on any side, right in the center. So Huddersfield, because it's a town, so it's not a big city, it is a beautiful town in Yorkshire. So we're right next door to Leeds, which is a really big city, and Manchester. So right in the middle of those two big cities. Leeds is about 20 minutes by train. And Manchester is about 30 minutes by train. So most of the students who fly over here, they come through Manchester Airport, which is very close. That's the closest one. And students really like it here because it's part of Yorkshire, like I said, and it is outside of a really big city. So they can pay a lot less than what they would be paying, for example, down in London. The tuition fees are relatively lower. The living costs are a lot lower. And I think Bangladeshi students always ask me, how can I afford it? Where can I go? I think this is a really positive thing for the students from Bangladesh, is that if you come to Huddersfield, we also offer some really good scholarships, and your living costs are also relatively lower. However, the ranking of the university and the status is actually gold. So we are a gold TEF university. So for those who don't know, TEF is the Teaching Excellence Framework. So this was introduced by the UK government. So this is not something that we put ourselves. This is something that the UK government has done. And you know how you've got the rankings 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of that, all the way down to 120. Instead of that, the government has decided that they would prefer to have a different system, which is, like you said before, the silver, the bronze, and the gold. So this is how they set the standard. So they gave Huddersfield a gold. That is because of the teaching quality at the university. So they measure things like the teaching staff, how many of those have PhDs. So Huddersfield was actually the first university to have 100% of staff with the teaching qualification of a PhD, either have done a PhD or are doing a PhD. I think at the moment we're joined first, but we used to be the first one to have this a few years ago. So this is one of the reasons that why they gave us a gold. And also because of the graduate employability. So we have 97.3% of our undergraduates finishing the program and within 6 months getting a job. So Huddersfield has got actually some really unique things like that the students can do. Really good teaching, low cost of living, and it's right next to some really big cities. So students can go if they want to go out for a big shopping spread, or if they want to go out and explore the bigger cities, they can do that, but then they can come back to Huddersfield and study. So just to mention as well that I have studied here myself. So any students who have any questions today, I can help them. I can explain to them a little bit more. So everything I'm mentioning, I have experienced it myself.
Because you have a real-time experience.
Exactly. So, when I came here 10 years ago, I always say this to the students. I always give them my example, just so they can see the growth of Huddersfield. When I came at Huddersfield 10 years ago in 2010 to study, half of the campus was not there, half of the university, half of the students. So in 10 years, it has doubled the number of courses, the number of programs, the number of staff, the number of students, the number of the campus. That video that you showed is really good because it's showing all the new modern buildings, but also the really traditional older buildings, because the university has been around for 200 years. So it used to be a mechanical institute. So it used to start off with mechanics and engineering. Then it has expanded into fashion and textiles, and now it's doing all sorts of programs like health and sciences, nursing, which is very popular now with the coronavirus. These are kind of the bigger programs that we've got at the university. So this is kind of a bit of an intro and kind of why should students come to Huddersfield. There's many reasons to choose a place like Huddersfield, and because it's a town and people might not know where it is. I think being so close to all of the bigger cities like Liverpool and Manchester and Leeds, it's actually giving the students a really good opportunity to explore other places, not just London, let's say, not just down south, but also go to Scotland if they want. Within a couple of hours, they can be in Edinburgh, or they can go to Wales from here.
That's good. Thanks for your concern. So, as you said that you are going to open a London campus. So, from this year onwards or next year?
So this is from this year onwards. From September, I think they are looking also for maybe January start. The Corona outbreak, maybe they're looking.
Corona should be waved off at this moment. So let's pray for the best. So what I'm saying that in London campus, you will be opening all the programs, or some specific courses you are planning to offer?
Yeah, there's some specific programs down in London. there are master's programs in finance and business, so there are some specific programs down in London, but the main campus is up here. There's 500 programs here. London is a relatively new campus that we're just opening from this year, so students who are going will be the first ones to go, actually.
I have seen a video of your some new building, Barbara, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's a very beautiful building. Shall we have a video of that building, that campus?
Absolutely, yeah. So that is for art design and architecture.
Yes, yes, I love that video really. So just have this video, just a second.
Sure.
Then we'll go for the course part and admission requirement and all these things. Let's have the video.
Today we're having a building tour and demonstration of the new state-of-the-art facilities, the School of Art, Design and Architecture at the University of Huddersfield. Events like these are just one of the ways that the RIBA support their local members.
The facilities at the new Hepworth building will allow our students to engage with both traditional craft-based activities as well as being able to utilise state-of-the-art digital facilities that will allow them to explore augmented virtual realities.
I think it's important that architects should get involved with students. It will help their learning as they're moving through the course. I've been in that position as a student, and I would want the advice of a professional that's been through architecture and is obviously now working in the profession.
We want our students to be able, straight away after graduating, to engage with the professional community, but also know that the courses that they finish from, they have the currency that they need, that are recognised by those professional institutions. And the RIBA is the core professional institution for architecture.
I'm really impressed by it because I have just finished at this uni doing architecture. So obviously I use the old building. So it's a lot more open plan, and I can see how a lot of the different courses are going to be able to work a lot better.
Innovation for architects is essential. And the innovation that we brought to this project was specifically about the tools that were used to communicate design. We took those tools to a level that we've not used before in terms of virtual environments and how people can experience those virtual environments ahead of actually moving into building. Buildings can help contribute a huge amount to someone's well-being, and you have to feel happy. You can't learn unless you feel happy. You can't learn unless you feel safe.
The university campus is quite a complex place that has multiple requirements, lots of different types of buildings with different users, with different needs, and it's always an ever-evolving place as well. So you have to really start to understand the culture of what all the different faculties, the students and the academics are constantly bringing into the mix when you're looking at projects.
Every project has its challenges. Probably higher education more than anybody else because you're working in a live environment. You've got more stakeholders to please. So, yeah, it is different.
The University of Huddersfield is a great example of how long-term partnerships can deliver fantastic results. The financial stability of our business and our strong order book also gives us considerable influence in procurement. This enabled us to prioritise the local supply chain to maximise economic impact for Huddersfield, which positions the university as a key investor in the town.
For this building, we did walkthroughs and clash detection. What that allowed us to do is identify any clashes or issues. So having the federated or the combined model allows the university to use this model going forward. They can use it for marketing, they can use it for future architects and changing the building, changing the design, space planning, all of that kind of thing.
I've built buildings and seen buildings, and I think it's great when young people with new ideas and new technologies meet up with people who have maybe done it different ways or seen things. And I think the two together, 2 + 2 = 5, not 4.
Yes, it was really an amazing video, and that the campus, wow, it's like that we need to say wow. So So come to the main point that about the courses. So far I know that University of Huddersfield have different courses in undergrad and postgrad level. So would you please explain something about your programs and courses, what you offer?
Yeah, of course. So we have about 500 different programs. Some of them you can find at any university, you know, they're very similar, but we do have some very unique ones that perhaps students cannot find in other universities, or they're very different, they're taught very differently. For example, some of them have placements. So I'll just explain. We've got bachelor's degrees, so undergraduate. We have masters, so these are postgraduate taught. And we also have research. So research degrees are PhDs or masters by research. So PhDs are 3-year. Masters by research is a 1-year program. Our masters are 1-year programs, but some of them, like nursing, require 2 years, or architecture, for example, could be 2 years as well. So there's quite a lot of programs. I'm not going to mention all of them, but I am going to mention a couple of the most popular ones from students from Bangladesh. So most of the students from Bangladesh usually ask for business. So they want to do, for example, an MBA, management, international business. Marketing is now a very popular area. A lot of companies need people who have digital marketing skills, or events and marketing together. So we have got a combination of programs. So some students might be able to have 2 programs together. So this is something very unique, I think, as well. We've got computing and engineering. So I think mechanical engineering and automotive engineering is very popular for our programs. Computing and IT, like artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things, cybersecurity. So these are very popular, very new programs that we've introduced. Like you've seen that video, so I'm not going to mention the programs on that video, but we've got art design and architecture, which also includes fashion and textiles within that. We've got quite a lot more in applied sciences, like pharmacy. We've got nursing, podiatry, physiotherapy. What I would say is, when a student is looking to find the right program to study, I would go down into the actual taught program and look at the modules. So this is what we call in the UK the modules. You might call them courses as part of the program. So we call them modules. If they look at the modules, I think this is where they can start comparing universities, and make sure that you always know what you're studying. So make sure that when you're putting together your application, your CV, you have done the research and you know what that program has. And that is the difference between, for example, a management program and an MBA. So an MBA, you have to have work experience to do that. I know some universities don't require it, but at Huddersfield, you need to have some work experience to do an MBA. Alternatively, if you don't have experience doing that, you can do things like management or international business, which still have a lot of leadership type of skills included as part of that. So I would encourage students to go on the course finder and have a look, and have a look at the programs. But I think we have seen quite a few students looking for PhD. So we do offer a lot of different PhDs, and I would suggest for the students to look at, first of all, the academics. Find out if there is an area at the university and if there is an academic that you can contact and can supervise you before actually applying.
Okay. So for applying to PhD programs, so students should find out the supervisor first, right? Before the application, right? So
I would suggest they have a look at the research centers, the research areas that we do. So there is a place on the website where they can have a look at the academic experts on our website, and they can see if there's somebody who has got that background knowledge, because it's so specific and so unique that they need to make sure that somebody is actually able to teach them what they're looking. So for research, that's what I would suggest. Go and find the right person. Make sure there's somebody at the university. There is an area that we can supervise you, and then have your application and submit it.
Okay. And you know that when we are talking about the courses, the next point it is always coming about the requirements, because as you say that you have both bachelor and master's. So you know that for bachelor what will be the requirements in class 12, what kind of score they should have.
Yeah.
Because we are following two kind of curriculums, right? One is national curriculum, which is higher secondary education, and another one is like British education, British curriculum, like O levels and A levels.
Yeah.
So, and for masters also, you must be looking for 4 years bachelor. So what is the academic average they should have, and what will be the English proficiency requirement?
Yeah, so for usually I'll start with the English proficiency because that's probably a lot easier to cover as a broad. So in terms of English proficiency, students should have an IELTS. Most of the programs will have a 6.0 with nothing lower than 5.5. Some programs, like in science, for example, might require a little bit higher. Some of the master's programs might require 6.5 or a 7. We only have a couple of programs that require a 7 overall. So those are kind of requirements. Now with this year, what we are offering is if anybody hasn't got the chance to do an IELTS because of obviously what's happening, we can offer them summer processionals. So students can do 6 weeks or 8 weeks of English tests online. That's part of the university before they actually join us in September. And to do that, they can do, we're very flexible in terms of the entry, so they can do like a Duolingo or TOEFL online. There's quite a lot of different English tests that we accept. So if they go on our website and they go under Processional, they can have a look at the different programs that we accept the students. Other than that, I would advise students to wait for the IELTS and actually do an IELTS because it's a really good qualification to have and to do. It prepares them really well. In terms of the entry for programs, for bachelor's degree, we need a high school certificate. So we need a year 12, 4 out of 5. If they have got 3.5 out of 5, we would be looking at it. So we would look at the grades depending on the program. So there might be some entry for that as well. If they haven't achieved those grades, what I would suggest is if students have a 2-year diploma or have done 2 years, they can still go into entry into year 1 with that program. If they haven't got that either and they haven't met the requirements, they can do a foundation year. So we work with study group, which are the partners that we have, and they can have a foundation or international year 1 and then come straight into the program. So they are studying on the campus. They will be doing a lot of English practice as part of the program, and then they will go straight into the program. They will be more prepared to enter the course. For masters, you've mentioned it, we need 4 years bachelor's. Usually 60% is what we would ask. It depends on the program. 55 to 60 is what we will be looking at. But some programs might require a little bit higher, so 65. So it depends on the program. So those are the entry requirements.
Okay, and for some master's program, so do you require any work experience? Like for MBA, I think you are asking for work experience.
The programs that require work experience would be things like MBA. So an MBA, students have to submit a CV and to show that they have done some work. For programs like nursing, they have to show, if it's a master's in nursing, they have to show that they have done either work experience after their bachelor's or as part of their degree, they have done some work experience. And I think it's very specific. I think it has to be 360 hours, which is about 6 months. I think most of the students who do nursing anyway in Bangladesh as part of the bachelor's have work experience as part of that.
Yes.
So if they can provide some evidence of that, that's what we would ask for. This program, there's a few programs like that will need some work experience.
Okay, so and what kind? I mean, IELTS requirement for master's program is overall 6.5, and no band less than 6. Is it something like that?
For IT.
For master's program, the IELTS requirement.
It depends on the master. Some of them most of them require a 6, just like the bachelor's.
Okay.
Some programs will need 6.5. Some programs with the placement require 7.0. So they're all on the course finder for each program. But most of them will need 6.0.
6.0. Okay. And one more thing, that like if someone doesn't have the required IELTS score, but their academic average is good. So what kind of courses they can be offered before starting the main program?
Students will have to have some kind of English level, so they will have to have an equivalent to IELTS. I would say that whatever they're applying, so if they have done a bachelor's degree, they have to make sure that it fits in rightly with what they're applying. So they wouldn't be accepted, for example, if they have done business and they want to go into nursing, they wouldn't be able to do that. So they have to make sure that what they have done is equal to what they're applying right now, because it's not just a university requirement, it's also immigration requirement, a UKVI. When they get the credibility interview, they will have to show that there is some kind of background behind what they want to study now.
Okay, and like someone is having low band in IELTS score, so they can join pre-sessional program. Do you offer pre-sessional program?
Yes, absolutely. So if students have got already an IELTS and they just missed 1 or 2 points or 0.5, they can do a pre-sessional. So usually they start from 6 weeks to a whole term. So the next available one is on the 15th of June. So if students are really interested to enter that, after the pre-sessional program, they will have a test. So it means that around August time, they will be doing the test, and then they will be able to progress straight after the test. They will be able to progress straight into the university in September. And actually, we have quite a lot of students who do that route.
Okay. And like, do you offer any scholarship in undergrad and postgrad level?
Yeah, of course. So we have up to £3,000 of scholarship. So there's a £2,000 scholarship that's for any student applying for any program, any master's or bachelor's program. And that is automatically for every year of the course. So if a student comes for a bachelor's, they can get £2,000 for every year. That is £6,000, for example, for 3 years. Now, if they are coming this year, they can also get another scholarship, which I've introduced this year, which is £1,000. Now, that one is an early payment discount. So if they decide by the 1st of July that they want to join Huddersfield, they can get an extra £1,000.
Okay, that's good. And you know that from South Asia, from Bangladesh, that when people are going to UK, so they are preferring to do some part-time works during their study, and they'll be looking for. I think you are in your undergrad courses. You are offering like sandwich year, like which is the job placement year. So are you offering sandwich year in all your undergrad programs?
Yeah, all undergraduate programs have a placement. Yeah. And
Okay.
some masters also have that. So some master's programs have 6-month placement, and that is it's not compulsory. Students can choose to do that. So most of the business and most of the computer and engineering programs should have a placement if students want to choose that.
If I'm not wrong, it is in third year, right? It is in third year, and fourth year they can finish the final year, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And I was telling about the part-time jobs in UK. So what is the facilities of that during
All right.
study?
So at the university there is a career center on the campus, so students can go there and get a job. So basically, there is that career center offers them a job shop. So that is a website where we have thousands of jobs, not just in Huddersfield, but around Huddersfield as well. Around the areas, Leeds and Manchester, which are very close as well. So if a student, for example, wants to work for the weekend, they can do that. The guidance from the government is that students have to work for a maximum of 20 hours, so they cannot exceed 20 hours a week.
Okay.
So that means if they're working for 2 or 3 days, it should be okay, as long as it doesn't exceed 20 hours a week.
And in the vacation time, they can work full time. That option is also there. Vacation.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think we can have a video now for what international students say actually about the university. So shall we have the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Let's have the video now.
I chose to come to the University of Huddersfield because as soon as I got to the campus, I felt right at home.
I felt like it would provide a new set of fresh opportunities, which thankfully for me, that has been absolutely true.
Everything is so close together. All the facilities are fantastic. They're always up to date. My course as well is engaging and fun.
So it's a really nice place to come and study and feel at home.
I want it to be independent but part of a community, and it's something I've definitely found here.
Yes, it's just a short video actually. Something about the international students, what they say actually. So the thing is that now students have some question about the application process. So how it is, how students can apply to this university, and when are the intakes you have, and what is the deadline, and what will be the application process to Huddersfield? Would you please explain this part?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say for those wanting to come in September, this is the time to apply right now, because all universities in the UK obviously have seen a big demand in terms of like programs, and you have to make sure that you have a place if you want to come in September. Some universities like Huddersfield, we've got a deadline of end of July. So if you apply after the end of July, you might not find a place, or you might not be able to offer a place. So this is the time to apply, because you will need, you actually do need a good 3 months to prepare for everything. When I was going to come here to the UK to study, I had to prepare everything. You have to get your visa, then you have to find accommodation. You've got to get your flights ready. You have to make sure you're prepared. So I would advise students to start now. For their application, they need to have all the documents. So they will need to have everything they have done. They need to have a personal statement, send a photo of their passport. They need to have transcripts from the school, so the grades from the schools. If they haven't got that ready yet, that's fine. They can still apply, and we will give them a conditional offer. So the offer will say that you need to meet English requirements, that you need to meet the academic requirements. Once you get all of that in the summer, you send it to us, and then we update the offer automatically, and you will be able to then meet the conditions and basically get the offer. Once you get the offer, it's the time to apply for the visa, the CAS. So once you have the CAS, you apply for the visa. Once you get accepted, you then start to book your accommodation and your flights and everything else. So it really does take a good 2-3 months to do all of that. So anybody wanting to do, this is the time to apply. You've got maybe until June to make your decision which course to do, but please do get in touch with permanent consultant, and they can help you out. What I would also say is that the entry points at Huddersfield, we've got 3 entry points depending on the program. So most of the students with bachelor's degrees are in September only. In January, we have masters. Most of the master's programs are available in January, and top-ups. So top-up is for anybody who has done 3 years in a bachelor's degree in Bangladesh, for example, and they want to come for 1 year and finish a degree here in the UK. So they come for the final year in January or in September, whichever they want, and they get a final year entry. So they finish in 1 year and get a bachelor's degree from Huddersfield. The other entry is for PhDs. So PhDs have very flexible entries. They might start in March, April. So it doesn't really matter. As long as they have got a place, they can start at different points during the year. But for undergraduates, September is the time. Now, a lot of students are asking me what's happening this year. What's Huddersfield doing for September? So for September, we are going ahead. We are going ahead with the September start at the moment. We will be announcing in the next couple of weeks exactly what the government is saying, because we're waiting for the government to give some announcements to all the universities, not just Huddersfield. But if there will be any delays, we might just have to delay slightly the September start into October. But so far, September is the starting date for Huddersfield, end of September. I think it's 25th or 24th, around that week. So please do be prepared. If you are attending, if you are applying, this is the time to apply. May, June is the time to apply.
Actually, you know that because of COVID-19 in our country also everything is locked down, even the VFS as well, and the IELTS also closed. I mean, nobody cannot, the sit for the IELTS also. And another thing is that as you require like references sometimes that that IELTS score, so students are unable to provide those things at this moment because all the institutions are closed. That is one point. Another point is when they are getting offer letters, so that as these all the things are locked down, so they are not getting confidence to go to bank and to pay the fees. So this is one thing. So we need to wait till June how the things are happening and need to proceed in that way. So I just have a question regarding the top up courses that we have said that those who have completed like bachelor, I mean third year they have completed in Bangladesh or any country like India or some other country. So they can join the final year of UK. So is it accepted? No, that from all universities on local universities, or you will check that the curriculum and all these things that how it can be offered, or how will
they have to be a recognized university, either public or private, as long as it's a legit university, and they have got the right grade. So as long as they have 60%, for example, and above, they should be accepted. Most of the programs who do that are business, so most of the students who do that route for top up or business or education. So those would be the main ones that students would want to come. I think as long as they have done the 3 years and they have got the transcripts, so as long as they are finishing this summer. So if they're finishing next year, there's no point applying for this September. They have to make sure that they are finishing by June, July. And then they'll be able to, they can still apply now for a top up, as long as they're getting the results in the next couple of months.
And once they finish the bachelor, I mean 1 year bachelor, 1 year the final year degree in UK, so they can after that they can apply for PSW as well, right?
Yeah, they should be able, because it's applicable to anybody graduating from next year, summer of 2021. Now, obviously, the government hasn't announced all the details about it, but this is so far the guidance that we have got.
Okay, that's a very good option, because it's a very good thing, because so many students we found that sometimes we find that they are willing to transfer their credits to the final year. So here I have another question that most of the universities where I can see in other countries, like they're asking for the syllabus or the curriculum, so they will map it to verify whether the curriculum is quite similar to your university or not. So is there any option like that from Huddersfield, or they will just have the transcript, they look into it, if they have the good grades, then they can offer? So how it will be?
Yeah, it depends on the program. I think because it's a top up, they wouldn't need to do a syllabus unless it's a requirement for that specific program. So most of the top ups wouldn't require a syllabus, as long as they show that they have got 3 years of a very relevant degree. So it has to be very similar. So you cannot do music and then come to do business top up. It has to be a similar, and you have to have kind of very similar modules. If we see any students who have got, for example, something different, they have their marketing and now they want to do, let's say, business, we might have to request a little bit more information if we need it. But most of the students for top-ups need to have 3 years transcript with the grades.
Okay, that's great. So actually we have missed out the housing part, I mean the accommodation part and living expenses. So we'll go for that after having a short video. So
Sure,
shall we
yeah.
go for that video?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of private accommodation providers right next to the campus. So please,
Yes, we'll go for the accommodation part, but before that, let's have the video. This is the final video from our end. was just a short video of some activities by the students. So,
Yeah.
how many Bangladeshi students are studying there right now in Huddersfield? How is the
So right now, I would say I'm just going to make, I don't know the exact amount, but I think I would make a guess from the ones I know anyway. There's about 70 to 80 students at the moment at the university. These numbers also growing every year. So from next year, we will have about 100. I mean, we've got students from all over Bangladesh, not just from Dhaka. We have students from Chittagong and Sylhet or the surrounding areas. Yeah, exactly. So there's quite a lot of students here. There's a lot of students also doing foundation here as well. So they are all part of the same community. So they don't have to stay far away. They're actually based on the campus. So there's actually a really nice community. And I've got a few students from Bangladesh who have done some excellent placements and have got some excellent jobs out of the university as well. So I can show examples another time if you want, or if you follow my page, I can send you some more information. But we have a student who, when I was studying, when was that? I mean, I joined in 2010 for my bachelor's. So I had a classmate of mine from Dhaka who went to America to do his placement. So he went there for 1 year to do his placement. Then he came back here to finish the final year degree. So you can imagine for to come here and study and then go to America and the UK, he was able to come back to Bangladesh and became now a manager. So as soon as he came back, he became a manager in a very big hotel. I'm not going to mention the name, but it's one of the best hotels in Dhaka. So he's the manager there now. So that's just giving you the example of, you're coming to the UK, but you never know where else this could take you, and you never know who you're going to meet. It's great for students from Bangladesh because they can really meet people from other parts of the world and make friends, and keep in touch with them as well, and maybe set up business together or share ideas of how things work. And they might want to set up business where they share things with China, for example, or with America. So really learning it and having this opportunity to meet people from around the world it's great.
Actually, that's the beauty of study abroad. That you can meet new people, different people, different countries, different culture. So you can grow up your networking as well. So it's a very important in our life to have some experience of studying abroad. So finally, we'd like to talk something about the housing option, accommodation option in University of Huddersfield, on campus, off campus, both, and how is the minimum living expenses over there?
Yeah. So because Huddersfield is a town and not a big city like London, for example, or Manchester or Liverpool, it is actually a lot more cheaper to stay here. So a lot of students who stay here, I would say approximately for student accommodation, you will need £400 a month. That's just approximately. Obviously, if you want to have a big studio or a big apartment by yourself, it might be a little bit more. But £400 should be enough to have your own shower, your own toilet, and all the bills included. And maybe share a flat. So maybe just share a kitchen and a living room with somebody else, but actually have your own bedroom and your own shower and your own suite. Approximately £400 a month. I mean, the government advice is that you have, I think it's £1,000 per month, I think it is. But that's also for things outside. So that's for your food, for travel. The good thing about Huddersfield is that you don't need to take a bus or a taxi. Everything is all one. So the accommodation is right next to the campus. There's the campus, and then there's a town, which is all attached together. So you don't really need anything. There's also security everywhere on campus, the security cameras. So even at night, the students go all the way from town. They go inside the campus, and then they go back to their accommodation because it's all a couple of streets away from each other. So it's very easy. I mean, I'm comparing it with Dhaka. I mean, Dhaka is massive. So to get from one place to the other, it took me like an hour and a half last time, if more than that. So, for students living here, I think it's very easy to get around, very easy to go to Manchester. Even London, 2.5 hours is not very far. If they want to go for the weekend or to explore in the summer, it's a great opportunity to stay. But what most of our students do, they stay here in the summer, they don't come back. They stay here and they make sure they explore the whole of the UK.
So I think within 600 pounds they can manage, including all, right? I mean, meal and everything.
It depends. So in the beginning, they might need a little bit more because they will definitely need bedding. They will need to buy
Yes.
the essentials. I would say a little bit more than 600. I would say keep 400 to 500 for accommodation and maybe 300-400 for anything else, because as well you might want to buy books. You don't have to buy because the university provides we have a library, so everything is accessible online and in the library. But always allow, the more you have, the better it is. Like when I was here, for example, 1 month my laptop broke, so I needed a new laptop. So the next month something else, I needed something else. I needed a printer or I needed a phone. So always make sure if you're coming to the UK, you have got enough money in your account.
So my point is like through these part-time jobs. I mean, when they are doing some part-time jobs, 20 hours per week. So is it quite, easier to manage these living expenses, 800 to 700 pounds? Is it okay to manage through part-time jobs? What do you think?
The requirement is 20 hours a week. They cannot work more than that. The minimum wage is about £6 to £7 an hour, depending on what job you do. At the university, we have jobs that pay £10 an hour. So if they work, £10 an hour, that's the university campus jobs. As soon as I would advise, if you want to have those, as soon as you come to the campus, go and apply, because those expire in October. So every September we open up jobs for the year. There's about 20 or 30 jobs, and most of the students from Bangladesh want to have a job. So I would advise you come and get those. So if they work, let's say 20 hours a week, they can get £200 a week. That's almost £800 a month.
800 to 900 pounds. Yes.
That's not always. So sometimes they might not have a job. Sometimes they will have to work only half of the week. So it would really depend on the job they get. The government guidance anyway, in order to come to the UK, you need to have the right amount in your bank account. So you need to make sure that you have about £1,000 per month for all of your living costs. So I wouldn't advise students to just expect the payment from a part-time job. I would see that as an extra. So I would see that as something for them to get extra money, to pay for things like a phone or laptop or something extra that they want to go
movies, roaming, travel here and there.
All of that. Yeah. So I would make sure that you have enough to eat, and you have enough for your accommodation. Anything else that you earn whilst working is extra for you. So your parents wouldn't be sending you this money; it would be your own money. So you can do whatever you want with that money. Okay.
So we are just end of the live session. We are going to close the live session very quickly. So any kind of things you would like to share finally with Bangladeshi students? Any last word?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What I would just say, a final word before I go, maybe it's just don't be afraid if you're thinking, is it a good opportunity? Should I go abroad? I have done that myself. I was an international student. I came here 10 years ago, and the UK has changed my life. The academics I met have made me think outside the box. I am a lot more confident in myself, and I've met some amazing people throughout the journey. And what I would say is that if you are not sure what to do a bit of more research, find the right university for you, because not all universities will offer what you want. So find the right university with the right tuition fee and the right place to study. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to leave Bangladesh. Don't be afraid to meet new people. It will all work out. So do it one step at a time. The right time to apply is now. Think about it. Talk to your family, your parents, whoever is going to sponsor you or help you financially. And make sure that it's the right place for you, because it might be that you might want to go to Australia or America. So you have to make your research and make sure you are applying to the right place. Anything else, I would just say stay safe. Of course, it's stay safe and stay well. Stay inside and make sure you and your family are staying safe.
Okay, so finally, I would like to say something in Bengali to our viewers that যারা স্টুডেন্ট আছেন তাদেরকে আমি বলবো যে ইউকেতে নেক্সট হচ্ছে সেপ্টেম্বরে এবং অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা অলরেডি শুরু হয়ে গেছে। আমাদের অলরেডি উই আর টেকিং অ্যাপ্লিকেশনস ফ্রম আওয়ার এন্ড and so there is no application fee as well. So if you don't have IELTS at this moment, that Margarita also said that you don't bother about that. You just submit. You can get conditional offer letter, and you can submit the test result after that. So আমি যেটা বলবো যে UK একটা good destination, because UK they're offering now PSW, post study work permit, and they have a lot of courses, the variation of courses, because আমরা অন্যান্য কান্ট্রি নিয়েও কাজ করি, যেমন অস্ট্রেলিয়া, কানাডা বা অন্যান্য কান্ট্রি, বাট ইউকেতে কিন্তু কোর্সের ভ্যারিয়েশনটা অনেক, লট অফ কোর্সেস আন্ডার দ্য সেম ইউনিভার্সিটি। এবং হাডার্সফিল্ড, ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ হাডার্সফিল্ড, দো ইটস নট ইন লন্ডন, বাট ইটস এ ভেরি গুড সিটি, ইটস নিয়ার বাই ম্যানচেস্টার। এবং যেটা হচ্ছে যে হাডার্সফিল্ডের কিন্তু র্যাঙ্কিংটাও ভালো, দেয়ার টেফ গোল্ড র্যাঙ্কিং রেটিং, এবং তাদের যে কোর্সেস টিউশন ফিস quite reasonable, এবং তাদের যে স্কলারশিপ স্কিমটা আছে যে ম্যাক্সিমাম 3000 pounds, so when you will get 3000 pounds scholarship, then definitely your tuition fee will be less. And so far I know that Margarita, I think you are not are you taking any interview during application process to the students?
Interviews are only done for specific courses. Again, like health sciences will need an interview with an academic. So nursing, things like nursing will need. But most of the programs don't need an interview. No.
Okay. So definitely there is no that kind of interview. So definitely it's the right time to apply. And সবাই বাড়িতে থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন এবং সাবধানে থাকবেন, বিকজ আমাদের এখন তাড়াহুড়া করে লাভ নেই, বিকজ সবগুলো ইউনিভার্সিটি কিন্তু চাচ্ছে যে আপনারা নিজেদেরকে সেফ রেখে আপনারা অ্যাপ্লিকেশন করুন। অ্যাপ্লিকেশন কিন্তু আমরা অনলাইনেই করতে পারছি, ইউ ডোন্ট নিড টু কাম টু আওয়ার অফিস, বিকজ অ্যাজ উই আর ক্লোজ নাও, সো ইউ ক্যান সেন্ড ইউর ডকুমেন্টস বাই ইমেল and we can submit your documents online, and you can get offer letter within 2-3 days. It won't be a problem if every documents are perfect. And of course some courses we are taking, we're asking for the reference letter, but at this moment if you can provide this, so you can apply conditionally as well. So thanks Margarita for joining this live session, and definitely thanks for your support all the time to Prominent Consultant, and thanks for joining as well, for accepting our request for having this live session with us. And we will be in touch with you always as our partner, and definitely you had a plan to come in March of this year, March or April, so far I know, but actually it's very unfortunate. So many people had a plan, have a schedule in their calendar, but nobody could come. So really it's a very tough time we are passing, so many people have died. It's really very sad, and let's see how the world is going in future. So let's hope for the best, and we'd like to close down the live at this moment. Till then, take care, stay safe, and stay in home. Thank you so much.
Thank you everybody, and thank you Saeed, you've been great.
Yes,
thank
bye.
you so much.
Yes, bye.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.